Sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt us. Smartphones are very much on our minds. Headlines in the news, parent groups lobbying the government. It feels like suddenly everyone is talking about the impact that phone use is having on young people. But in this school, we've been concerned for years now about the amount of time our students spend on their phones. That's why our policies already exist to keep phones out of the school day, and why so much time is devoted in PSHE lessons to online safety, healthy phone use, and critical challenge of information accessed online. While it's not possible or even desirable to return to the landline attached to the kitchen wall by a long, springy cord, there's no doubt there are profound and lasting downsides to the ubiquitous smartphone, particularly for children and adolescents. There's a very clear link between the introduction of smartphones and social media and the marked deterioration in children and adolescents' mental health since 2010. I genuinely feel that our young people are in crisis. The levels of anxiety, particularly in girls, that is tied up in social media use, group chats, and a fear of missing out, are causing so many problems both inside and out of school. Thankfully, we are now seeing policymakers taking notice. Things can get better for our children. Although social media can be fun and uplifting, children can also be exhausted as they try to assimilate all the information they receive at lightning speed. This is to say nothing of the countless chat groups they're trying to keep up with, some set up innocently to talk to friends, some less so. The demands on their attention are relentless and leave no room for the young brains to rest, wander, or learn. We've started to work with parents of our younger girls in the prep school to promote a smartphone-free childhood. Vitally important life skills are not being learnt by our young people because so much of their attention is focused on screens instead of observing and interacting with real live people in real time. Like the building of our immune systems, humans need a whole range of age-specific, person-to-person experiences to build the skills and instincts we need for adult life. We need to learn how to relate to one another, and we need to learn to assess risks. This means children need to have a steady stream of tumbles, mishaps, and relational difficulties to help amass the experience needed to cope with the bigger things which come in later life. One of the reasons young people love turning to screens is to avoid the sometimes awkward and always imperfect business of face-to-face interactions. But it's precisely this experience that is vitally needed during childhood and adolescence. Parents are understandably worried, but may not fully understand the intensity of the young people's experience. We simply did not have this type of childhood. We had daily risks and mishaps, whether physical or social, without a device to turn to for every wobble or moment of boredom. We coped. We developed skills. We also had downtime when nothing much happened. We had breaks from our friendship groups. We left friends at the end of the school day and perhaps spoke to them for 20 minutes in the evening on the landline in the hall, possibly watched over by a parent. Every day I speak to parents with concerns about their daughter's phone use. This isn't hyperbole. This is honestly a conversation I'm having on a daily basis. I've heard of students awake until 2 or 3 in the morning, too anxious to sleep in case they miss the notifications coming through. Keeping the phone near the pillow and using the screen before bed directly causes daytime sleepiness, sleep disturbances, and an increase in the time it takes to fall asleep. Poor sleep can drastically affect cognitive functions, memory retention, and overall academic performance, crucial areas for students preparing for exams. If we're going to protect our children, this generation and the next, we need sweeping societal changes. We need changes in legislation around social media and phone use. Given that it's now been shown that smartphones pose a range of very concerning risks in a number of ways, we also need changes in the prevailing approach. It is, of course, incredibly difficult to be the standout parent, the parent who has far stricter phone rules than the majority, or the parent who allows their child to walk home alone without a phone, while others wouldn't consider it. But it can be done, and some parents manage it. But it's a tough road, and I would never presume to criticise a parent who felt the need to support their child to fit in with social norms. However, we want to work with parents to change those social norms so that our students can return to going through the various milestones along the journey to adulthood in the right order and at the right time. As a school, we're in the process of refining a new approach to mobile phones. At present, students in Year 7 to 11 must not use their phone during the school day, and devices are confiscated for the remainder of the day if they are seen. But from half term, we will have an even tighter control on phone use within the school setting, and we aim to support parents in establishing supportive agreements with each other that will make it easier to have a firmer line on when and where phones are used outside of school. We can't do this alone. We can't do it without the support from parents. But together, we can and must make a change. We will also be combining this increased focus on phone use at school with more education for our students about why their school needs to take an even firmer approach. It's very important that the approach of parents and school does not feel punitive. Instead, we need to explain to our students and our children that the adults around them need to help them manage their approaches to this technology, in the same way they would expect the adults around them to restrict their access to other unhealthy ways of living. As parents, I'm asking you to trust us. These young people do not need to have access to their phones day and night. Together, we can embody the change that is needed. We can bring things back to a healthier place, and our children deserve our efforts to make it happen. Thank you in advance for all your support, and we look forward to further dialogue with you about this important issue for us all.